All right, time for another Affinity Photo tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how I created this gold leaf, kind of like an elegant looking text with some relief and some texture. So let's get to it. It's very easy to recreate. Let's get rid of what we have here for now and start from scratch. I do have just a radial gradient background with like a light yellow to a little bit of a peach here. First thing we're going to do is bring in our text. So for this, you want to use something elegant, stylish. This font is called Zapfino, and I found it on defont.com. So let's go ahead and type in our word. All right. Kind of get it centered up there where we want it. And scale it down just a hair. All right, and we'll center it up. All right, very first thing we need to do is, I'm just going to throw a blank pixel layer in there. We need to bring in our Goldleaf Texture. So what I did is I just went online and Googled for Goldleaf Texture. There's a bunch of stuff up there to download, free stuff. So we'll go to File and Place, and we'll find our texture. I like this one because it's real bright. And we will drag it out and place it, here we go, on top of our text. Go ahead and move it up. Let's bring it down below our text so that we can kind of see what we're working with here. That looks fine right there. It's pretty even throughout. Once we have it where we want it, we can right click on it, rasterize and trim it, constrain it to our canvas there like that. And then let's go ahead and take that and drop it directly onto our text. So now we can see we have our gold leaf texture inside of our text, but it's kind of hard to see right there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our layer effects on our text so to bring it out and make it a little bit more prominent. First thing we're going to do is come in and give it a bevel and emboss. And it defaults to the pillow, so we're going to change that to inner. And we want to kind of go with a smaller radius. So right now it defaults to 5. Let's bring it down to like 0.7, and then we'll soften it up just a little bit, soften it up to about 1 pixel. And then to give us a little more hard edge on there, let's come in and change the azimuth to 150, and we'll change the elevation to 0. And that kind of gives us that nice sharp edge there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an outline. And for our outline, we'll go ahead and pick a solid color, but rather than using a color off of here, let's sample a color from the gold leaf itself. Let's get one of these like middle yellow oranges that's in it, right about there. All right, that looks good. First thing we're going to do is increase the noise on that as well. So that'll kind of roughen it up some. Make sure we select that. And let's bring the radius up on that to, let's go to 1 pixel on that. There we go. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an inner shadow. So we'll come to inner shadow. And on the inner shadow, let's go with a pretty small radius. Let's say like 0.3 offset. We'll give it a couple of pixels of offset. Let's say 2. And on the intensity, we don't want it too high, so let's bring the intensity up to about 20. Bring the offset down just a little bit there to 2. Should just type it in, right? It's probably easier. All right, and then let's change the angle. Let's go with the opposite angle on that, so it creates a little bit more of this relief down here. That looks pretty good there. And I think the last thing we want to do on this is add some inner glow. And with the inner glow, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to color and we're going to sample one of the colors. Here, again, maybe like a medium to maybe slightly brighter in there. We'll go ahead and pick that. And on that, we want a big radius on that as well. So let's go kind of crank that up to about like 25 or so. And let's bring the intensity way down to like maybe like 15%, somewhere around there. That's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and check our stuff here. Our bevel emboss looks good. Our outline looks good. Inner shadows looking good. Inner glow. Yeah, that's great. So now what we want to do is we want to kind of separate it from the background again to give it a little bit more depth. What I'm going to do here is bring this empty pixel layer that I have here, bring it below our text. And then I'm going to shift or control or command click on a Mac, command click, so that we're selecting our text, but make sure that we're going to be painting on our pixel layer here. I'm going to get a brush and make sure I'm painting with black. And I'm just going to cover my letters in black. Now we can't see it right now because underneath our text layer. Just kind of go over it, make sure you get the whole thing covered. And when you're done, we're going to Command D to deselect. Make sure that we move that pixel layer. And we're going to move it down, a little over to the right maybe. And let's go ahead and give it a live filter of a Gaussian blur. We'll bring that Gaussian blur up to taste. That's looking pretty good right there. And that's really it. I mean, you know, you can play with the opacity of the shadow layer some if you want. You can move it around to different places on the image, farther away, scale it some if you want to make it look like it's farther away from the background. But that's a very, very quick and down and dirty, easy way to create some elegant gold leaf texture. And if you liked it, please like the video or think about subscribing. And until next time, peace. Talk to you later. Bye.